Okay, I just ran the tiller back through this, and you can see the difference between this section and that section. That had the shed on top of it, and it doesn't have any plant growth. And this section has a lot of roots, and I believe this is centipede grass. So I will rake to get all the green and roots out, and add some compost material into this. When the truckload gets here, topsoil and mushroom compost will be added to this. As you can see, it's very, very loose. I do have a small amount of rock. I am quite sure that this was rock that was trucked in, and you know, probably for drainage, good drainage underneath the shed. There's not too much as far as glass on the property that I've been finding, just little bits and pieces. It's mostly plastic, and we'll get that all raked and worked out. But this is the 10-foot by 20-foot bed that I decided to do, and I don't know any history on this property, what's been worked, what's been here. I'm gonna maybe talk to some of the neighbors and find out. And this area will eventually, you know, have the fast-growing pine trees up against that fence line. So until I decide on the variety, I'm gonna stick with just planting this outside, and this is probably going to end up being a squash or a watermelon patch. And I had mentioned in an earlier video about amending the soil. And around a lot of shrubbery and pines, it's highly acidic. And garden vegetables usually do well in a mid-range. Some are, you know, blueberries, you got to adjust the pH for those. Anyway, so I keep a big bin of my favorite picks for amendments. And this has been sitting since last year. It's got damp a couple times, and you could smell the activity in it. And this is a combination of lime and gypsum, feather meal, bone meal, kelp, and did I say bone meal? But there's a whole bunch of the organics in here, and I will spread this through lightly and rake it in. And then when the plants go in, I'll have the compost tea mixed and get the microbes really active. But that's the basics of it. I don't measure. I don't go to the Aggie school. Some people recommend doing that. Just like my cooking, I seem to have an innate ability to just put in what needs to be done in proper amounts. So there it is. I'm going to get this amended, raked out, and get ready for some direct sow. Talk to you soon. Arrivederci.